Hi, my name is Emily Smith, and I'm going to talk about my favorite part of the brain, the parietal lobe. What we must remember about the brain is that each part serves a very important function, but each part does not act alone. The brain parts all work together to guide the body through daily functions. Think about the feeling of cold chocolate ice cream on your tongue. How do we know this is cold? How do we know this is sweet? This awareness of taste is decoded by the parietal lobe of the brain. The parietal lobe is a very important piece of 4 lobes in the brain. These 4 parts are parietal, frontal, temporal, and occipital. Each of these lobes serve very specific and specialized functions and can also be divided into left and right regions, or hemispheres. The parietal lobe is located in the cerebral cortex, which is a part of the brain that all mammals have. More specifically, the parietal lobe sits behind the frontal lobe and above the temporal lobe. In the parietal lobe is where sensations of sound, taste, sight, touch, and smell are processed. This also includes temperature, pressure, and pain. Furthermore, the parietal lobe gives the brain spatial awareness so that we are able to respond to the size and distance of objects around us. For example, when we read a map or navigate with directions, the parietal lobe is used. The parietal lobe is also key to how the brain responds to sensory input and language. Touch is sensed by the parietal lobe when we are touched on different parts of the body. The parietal lobe tells us where the sensation of touch is coming from, so that we do not just feel this touch all over the body, rather the touch is localized to the specific area we are touched on. This sense of touch is regulated by the somatosensory cortex. Somatosensory cortex, which is a part of the parietal lobe. The parietal lobe works closely with the thalamus to allow sensations like this to occur, sending nerve signals through the peripheral nervous system. The parietal lobe also coordinates attention as well as motions of different body parts. The parietal lobe can be divided into 2 hemispheres or regions. A fun fact I learned is that in the left hemisphere is where right-handed people produce the most activity, and in the right hemisphere is where left-handed people produce the most activity. However, each person uses both sides of the parietal lobe and their brains on a daily basis, and they work together. Like any other region of the brain, the parietal lobe is susceptible to damage which could impair proper functioning. Injuries to the parietal lobe could result in Gerstmann syndrome or Balint syndrome. Balint syndrome? Not really sure. Gerstmann syndrome is caused by damage to the left parietal lobe, and if a person is affected by Gerstmann syndrome, he or she may experience difficulty with language, mathematics and quantitative reasoning, awareness of objects, or even writing. Balint syndrome can result in damage to both lobes, and this affects a person's attention and motor skills. So, keeping a healthy lifestyle creates a healthy brain, and in order for our brains to function at the best they can, it's important to take care of ourselves and our bodies. So, exercising, eating healthy, drinking lots of water, education, everything that would stimulate our brain and keep it intact, getting a good night's sleep. All of that is really important to taking care of ourselves and to taking care of our brains. I had a great time learning about the brain and the parietal lobes in general, so thank you.